while we are also watching live from one live stream. We are reviewing the fights of the entire night as we are about to dwindle down the last 3 minutes of this main event right now, with now Bilal Muhammad on top. Now, this is where Bilal Muhammad should have wanted himself to be in this whole entire fight. Now, is this going to be enough for him? Muhammad's last two attempts. Wow. Okay. So, yeah, man, he has to do something very drastic here in this particular round in order for him to look at this. Just throwing some hammer fists right here up top. All right, so he scrambled right back up with just 2 minutes left. So everybody that's tapped in, we are about to do the post-fight reaction to all the fights that have gone on tonight. Simultaneous live stream going on in one channel right now. So yeah, don't forget to tap in, guys. Tap in, like, and subscribe. So here we go. 2 minutes left into this fight with Bilal Muhammad and JDM. By the way, check out my vertical stream Sunday review of UFC 30315, which is going on right now. Look at this. This is a very exciting fight. You see the thumbnail that I have for the post review? Oh, wow, look at this. Wow, Muhammad is hurt really bad right now. Listen, win or lose, you have to give Bilal Muhammad your true to God honest respect. But yeah, Bilal Muhammad is hurt really bad right here. Wow. Okay. Wow. And then Bilal Muhammad takes him down. Listen, I think this right here solidified Bilal Muhammad right here in this last look. I know this is not Japanese MMA. I know that we don't go off of those last minute type of situations, kind of like Nick Diaz and Leon Edwards. Like, we don't go off any of those, right? But I tell you what, man, Bilal Muhammad right now, one thing you got to be impressed with him is that he did not put himself in a boring fight. Look, the reason why Bilal Muhammad is in boring fights is because nobody is there to pressure him. Now, what Jack Della Maddalena is doing right here is doing exactly that, is pressuring him. If you don't want Bilal Muhammad to be in a boring fight, this is what you have to do. You have to put him in a non-boring situation. But man, let me tell you, man, Bilal Muhammad looks like he is dwindling down right here, but he is going to survive nonetheless. He is going to survive this fight, and that right there concludes the remaining of this fight. So now we go to the scorecards and find out who the winner is of this fight right here. We're gonna find out who the winner is of this epic clash that we have going on right here. Wow, man. Now, as I said earlier, Sahabi and Jose Aldo were supposed to be fight of the night, right? This could be the potential fight of the night right here, but we're going to find out. We're about to find out who the winner is of the main event of the evening right here. They both dealt with some hardships in this fight. Both came through, showed their hearts. This is the most that you can really ask for your fighters right here. Wow, yeah, he sliced them up with that knee shot right there. Good scrambling on the part of Bilal Muhammad there. And JDM as well, man. Great scrambling on both of their parts. Look at this. Ooh, wow. He drags him down on the ground with that last part right there. Okay, and then there's some good shots right there by JDM. It's obvious the striking of JDM is just a little bit a top notch higher than that of Bilal Muhammad. Right? Wouldn't you agree? I mean, All right, so we're about to find out who the winner is of this fight right now. By unanimous decision. So who is the winner? No, I can't believe it. Wow. Wow. Jack Della Maddalena won this one. You know what? I got to tell you, man, now he's going to go out there and face Islam. He's going to fight Islam next. That's who is next. But wow, man, JDM got the decision win on this one. Hey, listen, that was a well deserved win. The one thing that you have to give into consideration right now is that Bilal Muhammad gave you guys a hard fought fight, right? He gave you a fight that you needed to see, a fight where, you know what, he was going to go in here blood and guts and all, and that's exactly what he did. I mean, yeah, they both are busted up pretty good, but Jack Della Maddalena, I think, had the better of these exchanges. Even though Bilal had some good moments in the takedowns, that's, unfortunately not good enough. Danielle 218, shout out to you, my man. Obviously, I got two streams going on at once right now, but yeah, wow. Wow. Stand amongst the legend. I can't believe it, man. He says it's a great challenge. He accepts the fight with Islam Makhachev. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. But let me tell you something, man. As sad as that is, this is what you live for when it comes to combat sports, right? The unexpected. JDM never expected this. At least I don't know, man. I think he expected this. Nobody else expected this. Every fighter that goes in there, they know that in the back of their mind, they are going to win at all costs, right? They are going to win. And not only are they going to win, they are also going to uh, believe in something that nobody else is going to believe, right? JDM believed in himself here and nobody else did. Everybody was expecting Ilya Tapora to fight Islam Makhachev, and as a result, he came out here and did something completely different. He said, "Not so fast. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and I'm going to fight uh, Islam myself. He says that he's going to take this challenge because they asked him right after the fight, "Hey, what are you going to do? Are you going to take Islam on after this fight?" He says, "Yeah, man, I would love to take up that challenge." And here he is, man. Shout outs to him, man. Shout outs to him on that. Wow, man. I can't believe it. JDM won. JDM won. That's crazy. But you know what? You got to keep on trucking. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. JDM is the new champion. Can you guys believe it? Look, who here really believed that Jack was going to win, right? So you were able to find if it's haram to give WWE move to cow. Uh gamer yeah. I'm gonna have to remove that comment. I'm not gonna block you, but I'm gonna remove that comment. So there you go. Sorry, gamer, whatever your name is, but man, I'm shocked at the outcome of this fight. I'm absolutely shocked by the outcome of this fight. JDM deserved the win, no doubt about it. Look, this is not about religion. This is not about region. This is not about America versus Australia. This is not about Canada versus everybody else. This is just about two guys that have different set of skills, and as a result of those different sets of skills, they clashed tonight, and one guy just had the number over the other guy, and that's just what we saw. That's what we witnessed, and that is the reality of the situation that we have right now. I think JDM did a very good job of keeping the distance. Look, here's another thing I want to talk about, right? I think this has been a bad week for wrestlers. Wouldn't you agree? Would you agree that this has been a really bad week for wrestlers? You had Bo Nickel getting fraud checked. Now you got Bilal Muhammad. You could say that he got fraud checked. Not really. How could you say Bilal Muhammad has been fraud checked when he has been beaten very early in his career, only to come back and persevere again? Rhett Knows MMA says best fight ever. I would say so. Look, you see the thumbnail that I have for this live stream, right? That's the sarcasm behind this. Obviously, we were expecting Bilal Muhammad to win. He didn't win. JDM won, but you know who won tonight was MMA. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm very sad. I'm sad for my Muslim brother losing this fight, but that's the name of the game. Were you guys not sad when your hero Oliveira got choked out by Islam Makhachev? Were you guys not sad when your other hero Sean Strickland got dominated by what's his name, Dricus Duplessis? How about this? How about Izzy? Were you not sad when you were an Izzy fan and Izzy got dominated 5 rounds by Sean Strickland? It happens, man. This is the reality of combat sports, and you have to understand that. You have to give respect to the realities of combat sports. Now, what do I got to say about Bilal Muhammad's performance? You know what? I think that Bilal Muhammad trained very hard for this fight, and he'll tell you himself. He will also tell you that he did everything that he could. This is what every fighter is going to tell you, and I believe him through face value. Here's what I do also know as well. Some guys just have your number. And I'm now starting to think maybe Bilal knew, no, I'm sorry, not Bilal. Maybe Islam and Khabib knew something that we didn't know. Rhett Knows MMA says Islam versus JDM, Ilya versus Charles. Yes, Imavov versus Strickland 2 are the fights to make. There it is. There it is, man. Shout outs to Rhett Knows MMA. By the way, if you guys are watching me on my original live stream right now, I am also on a vertical live stream. So you can choose to watch which view you want to watch, right? But it's all in the same channel. Obviously, this one is going to serve as the post-fight review Sunday version of this live stream. And that live stream that is going on right now is set to represent the entire live stream that I did for this event, but also a bonus content in what we are doing right now. So right now, JDM is the new undisputed world heavyweight champion. I'm sorry, the new undisputed welterweight champion of the UFC, the same lineage of George St. Pierre, in the same city that we are now being hosted by this particular event. Yeah, a whole lot to talk about, right? Look, most fight nights, or I'm sorry, most championship nights where the champion defends his belt, usually you don't have this type of aura of excitement or this type of aura or of agony, because that's what's going on right now. If you're a Bilal Muhammad fan, you're looking at this situation right now and saying to yourself, man, I'm disheartened by the fact that Bilal had lost this fight. And then a lot of excuses are going to come about on the side of Bilal Muhammad supporters, saying something to the effect, well, Ramadan may have had something to do with it. He was training during Ramadan, but then you could go and cite back somebody like Ankalaev, but then the other argument is that Uncle Laya was not really fasting during Ramadan. So there's a lot to take into this particular fight, right? But all in all, when you're trying to analyze everything and you're trying to look at what went wrong or what could have gone better, the best thing that you can really try and understand and cope with this is that sometimes some guys just have other people's number. And it may not be every night that Bilal Muhammad gets schooled by JDM, but tonight he certainly got schooled, at least on the striking department. And it leads me back into the question and to the conversation that I wanted to talk about earlier, dealing with wrestlers, right? Wrestlers right now in the game of MMA. Look, I think there was a point where wrestlers were dominant in the world of MMA, but then there was a point where wrestlers just became stale. And this is the quintessential example of it. Yeah, this is the quintessential example of wrestlers getting stale right now, where just you need just a whole different level of striking now in order to really make it out here. Rhett knows MMA. Sorry, you had to redact that statement. You can write it again. Sorry, I just had to go on a bit of a tangent there to yeah. Ari Edit says hi. Hey, how you doing? How are you? What part of the world are you are from? Let me know. Everybody tap in from around the world that is onto this live stream right now, because we are about to review the whole entire card while simultaneously live streaming not only on my vertical but also on my live stream reaction to the fight. So we're sort of double dipping here a little bit. Okay, so you're from Sydney. All right. Well, I'm sure this fight is something that you are excited to see. Maybe your fellow countrymen going in there to win the title. I'm sure you're pretty excited about that. Rhett Knows MMA says, it reminds me of Strickland versus Duplessis 1. It was in Canada too, and it was a very close war. Yeah, man. Canada seems to be the place where a lot of belts are changing, huh? Canada, yeah, does seem to have that reputation now. Arian Edit says yes. Okay, so so you're pretty happy with the result, I'm assuming. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty bummed about it, but at the same time, it's bittersweet. I'm gonna tell you why. Because now you get to see Jack Della Maddalena defend his belt against Islam Makhachev, and now you get to see Ilya Topora go up in weight. He doesn't have to go and fight Islam. Look, Islam does not want to fight Ilya Tapora, man. It's not his prerogative to wanting to fight him. This is the best case scenario. Maybe Khabib and Islam saw something that we never really saw coming, but for any event in any regard, man, let me tell you, JDM and Islam are going to be a good matchup. Now, here's the next question. How long and how fast are they going to turn it around? Are they going to turn it around straight away, right into a main event of International Fight Week, which is just right around the corner. June 28th. Maybe that's a little bit too soon. Who knows, man? Who knows? Jack might be crazy enough to take that fight. All you got to have is just a commission to sign off on him. It's not like he got knocked out or finished or anything like that. They will absolutely sign off on that fight. So, uh, let's see what else here. Yeah, before we talk about the main event and all the intricacies that go into that, and also not just that, but uh, the implications that come with this, right? Rhett knows MMA says, yeah, that would be insane. UFC 317, Jack versus Islam, Ilya versus Charles. Now, the only thing, though, is if the commissions will sign off on it. Now, obviously, he didn't get finished in this fight, but it's still a fast turnaround. Although one can argue and say, well, you're match fit, you're ready, you went 5 rounds. Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe it's not. Islam Makhachev, his last fight didn't really go that long, right? But it would be a disadvantage for Jack Della Maddalena, right? His face was pretty messed up. Yeah, Jack Della Maddalena, at this point, being that Islam is the next title contender at 170, I'm going to be honest with you. Jack Della Maddalena is playing the role of Eddie Alvarez right now. You remember when Eddie Alvarez was the champion, right? He was basically a champion sacrificed for Conor McGregor. Well, now Jack Della Maddalena seems like the Eddie Alvarez to where he is the champion right up top. To because remember when Eddie Alvarez and Conor fought, he's saying, "Yeah, you have the little boy belt. I have the big boy belt." Right? Well, the guy with the little boy belt at 155 wants the big man belt at 170, and here it is. This is the fight to make right now at this particular trajectory of the UFC season that is coming up. So let's see here. Uh, Kojio says Islam versus Ilya Tapora would have been the best matchup. Are you sure though? Are you sure that that would have been the best matchup with Islam and Ilya Tapora? I'm going to tell you why that would not be a good matchup. Wow, Islam Makhachev right now just confirmed on Twitter. Right now, he just said, "Yeah, I would like to be a double champion." Islam Makhachev's future in the lightweight division after JDM's win will likely move up to fight Jack Della Maddalena at welterweight, which means that title is vacant, just like how Ilya Tapora vacated 145. Now he gets to move up, and there it is. That's history. Rhett Knows MMA says there is a whole wave of contenders coming up for Jack. Islam, Buckley, Shavkat, Brady, and Gary. But it seems that Jack Della Maddalena is locked in on Islam Makhachev. Look, he wants that fight. And you know what? Quite frankly, he deserves that fight. They both deserve that fight. Jack deserves the payday for that fight. Islam deserves the chance to become a double champion in that fight. And that's what we have going on with that one. But yeah, it would have been a good matchup, but unfortunately it's not. But hey, you know what? That's the beauty of the UFC, right? We wanted one thing, but got something else in another. Just like in the heavyweight divisions of boxing, right? We've seen for a long time one particular person dominate boxing. The next thing you know, there was an upset of Tyson Fury taking on the Ukrainian Vladimir Klitschko. And the next thing you know, that created a whole different wide range of matchups from Usyk to Fury, from Fury to Wilder, so on and so forth, right? That's what this sport produces. That's what combat sports should produce, is a bright future whenever you have an upsetting of the cards and what have you in this situation. And Rhett Knows MMA says, yeah, it's a bright future for the welterweight. And you're definitely right about that. It's a bright future for that division now, right? Now that Islam is part of that division. Let's hear what these guys are saying in Yeah, man. What is this? Rat Nose MMA says, can't believe Cena hit our truth with the attitude adjustment. Sorry, a little off topic tonight was also a. Oh man, that's right. That's right. Hey, you know what, man? I like that there's WWE fans that are now tapped into my channel. I think it's the belt that I have behind me right next to my Taekwondo trophy and my Muay Thai trophy right here. But yeah, I'm obviously it's kind of symbolizes that even though I've been involved in real combat sports, I'm also a fan of entertainment combat and what have you. So, okay, I didn't even realize. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why I thought that I've been getting a lot of but you know what, I think WWE now is sort of reaching a different popularity, and I think there's a cross promotion between TKO and UFC naturally, just based on that relationship alone. But thank you for that backlash WWE event uh update on that one, right? But sure, I'll definitely take a look into that. I've done a few wrestling videos in this channel before, but obviously I'm geared more towards MMA and boxing and whatnot. But yeah, uh, okay. Let's talk about the rest of the cards, because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think I have the stamina to really talk about every fight in terms. Look, I have the stamina to talk all night, but I don't think I have the stamina to talk about every fight in its entirety, because I think the only fight that's really necessary to talk about tonight is JDM's shocking win, right? So let's give the other fighters their dues right now, okay? And let us take a look at. All right, let's take a look at UFC. Okay, so early prelims. Oh yeah, Jose Aldo sold the fight away. Sold the fight away, meaning that yeah, he he was going to be fight of the night until Jack Della Maddalena, in my opinion. Yeah, he was going to be fight of the night until it was going to be Jack Della Maddalena. But yeah, that's that. Let's go to Tapology. All right, so they're still waiting on Dana White. Bilal couldn't takedown. Yeah, he couldn't get a takedown, Dingleberry. That's true, man. I was very surprised of the way that he had a very difficult time of doing so. So, all right, let's go with the first fight of the evening. Let's go with the first fight all the way to the main event, and then just talk about the main event all night long. So, Bezgat Alamakan knocks out Brad Katona early, first round, with an uppercut, puts him to sleep. Ret Nose MMA says Bully B was struggling but showed a great chin. He did. Okay, so the next fight after that, Daniel Santos and Jiang Yong Lee. Daniel Santos wins that fight, being cornered by Ian Gary. Obviously, this guy right here came in at a short notice, looked fresher between the two, got the win. Mark Borlat taking on Bruno Silva, knocks Bruno Silva out brutally. Okay, right up into clinch positions with some elbows, and then follows it up with some punches right afterwards. He was hospitalized right after that fight, Bruno Silva, right? But they had to get CAT scans, and they were updated. You could check out on the timestamps of the live stream. that I did for the fight, and yeah, see the updates as I was putting it on a timestamp. You can check it out right there. So Paulo Souza says UFC. Yes, that is what we are covering. Navajo Sterling gets a decision win over Yvonne Sterling, shows that striking pedigree that they have in city kickboxing. Modestas Bukakis gets a split decision against Ion Kutalaba. I mean, very close fight. That split decision was absolutely warranted. Rear naked choke by Jasmine Jasudavicius against Jessica Andrade. I mean, takes her down in the first round, and then after that, gets her back, gets a rear naked choke, and that was all she wrote. Mike Malott, ground and pound, second round against Charles Radkich. Great win for the hometown guy. Benoit Saint Denis gets an arm triangle on Kyle Proplek. Okay, so in the second round, he takes him down. As soon as he takes him down, he gets that arm triangle choke, and that was all she wrote from there. Natalia Silva against Alexa Grasso. Look, biggest win of Natalia Silva's career, obviously against a former champion. This should absolutely put her right up there in title contendership. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes for Natalia Silva. Still a big win. Biggest win of her career. Let's never forget that. Speaking of biggest win of their career, Ayman Zahabi gets a win from Jose Aldo. By the way, this was fight of the night right here. They went back and forth. The speed of Jose Aldo was insane. But you know what? This was Jose Aldo's retirement fight. He made a good account of himself. He hurt Ayman Zahabi a few times, but by the end of it, Ayman Zahabi got him hurt just right in the nick of time of the last round, very similar to that of Mark Hominick, if you guys remember. Rhett knows MMA says Jack Della Maddalena showed up his Diddy Man's boxing, getting up in Bully B's grill and bullying him. Yes. Who do you think wins, Islam versus Jack? Well, Dingleberry, I'm going to go with Islam on that one. I can see some skill discrepancy that Islam has displayed tonight that I don't think Islam would show. And I think that coming from a weight class of 155 with fighters with, in my opinion, a lot more elite skills, I think that Islam, I think that there's a lot of danger that Islam is going to present to top 170 fighters, and that includes Jack Della Maddalena as well. So yeah, that is Jose Aldo's retirement fight. It's a great way to go out. Look, sometimes most guys in their retirement fight, they go out bad. I mean, bad in ways where like, whoa, that dude just got laid out, and it's over for that dude. But not Jose Aldo tonight. He went the full distance and gave a good account of himself, and that was that. Speaking of good account of himself, Manon Farouk gave a good account of herself as well. But Valentina Shevchenko is a legend for a reason. Gets a 5-round decision. And of course, here we are with the main event with Jack Della Maddalena, Bilal Muhammad, the talk of the night, which is going to be the talk of the entire week, to be quite honest with you, when it comes to these fights, because, hey, these fights were exciting way more than what was expected. Now, look, take a look at the thumbnail that I'm doing right now for the Sunday review, which is going on right now on the same channel. By the way, I have 2 live streams going on at once. I think that's only possible because I have 2 different devices that I'm doing this on. But the thumbnail for the Sunday review of UFC 315 is Bilal Muhammad saying that he's the winner. Obviously, the title says different. It's JDM who won, but it was people sleeping. In other words, before going into this fight, people were anticipating that this was going to be a very boring fight. Now, is that what happened? Absolutely not. That is absolutely the opposite of what happened. What we got out of this whole entire card was an absolute banger. Okay, we got a banger out of this card. Not only did we get a banger, we also got an exciting fight, 2 exciting fights. Jose Aldo, Ayman Zahabi, Jack, and Bilal. Those were the exciting fights. JDM versus Islam is still great. I love that fight. Yeah, a much better fight than that of that of Ilia Topuria and Islam, to be quite honest with you. A much better fight. Jose Aldo will come back when UFC is next in Brazil. Maybe. Uh, I tell you what, Dingleberry, I don't think that's what he's going to do. What I will say he's going to do is become an ambassador of some sort, have like this ambassador role and what have you. I think that's ultimately what is going to happen. Yeah, he's going to have an ambassador role of some sort when he shows up to UFC Brazil. I don't think he's going to fight. It's not going to be at a capacity where he fights. Rhett Knows MMA says, I got to go, but thanks for reading my comments. Loving the channel. Thank you so much, Rhett MMA. And by the way, don't forget to like and subscribe, my man. Also, tell everybody around the world that you are tapped in with to like and subscribe. Everybody in the chat, stay. We are going to continue to talk about the shocking results that we had just witnessed tonight. So let's see if we can find the uh, oh, wow. So there's no Dana White on the podium tonight. So he's not going to be in. Yeah, he's not going to be there. So I don't know what's up with that. Okay, but Ayman Zahabi and Jose Aldo. Look at this. That soccer kick that he had, right? I mean, I just thought at that point Zahabi was done. I thought that he got laid out right there. There was no way. Yeah, Dana ain't happy. Dana ain't happy. Why would you say that he's not happy, right? Did he really want Bilal to win tonight? I don't know, man. I mean, you would suppose, right? You would probably think that Dana probably finds is Muslim fighters a lot more marketable, perhaps. But JDM does have a good size amount of fans, I would say, right? So it can't be that bad. You got an Australian champion that you can feed to Islam, if you think about it. So Dana bitching because it was a decision, probably. Yeah. But you know what? A decision, but it was a great fight. Same thing with the Jose Aldo and Ayman Zahabi fight, right? That went to a decision, but still, it was a great fight nonetheless, right? Decision or not, it was a great fight. Uh, I think this fight lived up to its expectations. A lot of people had so much negative things to say about this fight going in. But even though I'm disappointed in the fact that Bilal lost, I'm happy for the card overall, and Ayman Zahabi won, so it can't be that bad. But yeah, man, this is a lot to digest, to be quite honest with you. But again, it's just combat sports in general. Okay, so Anthony Smith said that what he saw out of Jose Aldo was a very unsure man of himself. Did anybody get that vibe when they were watching Jose Aldo tonight? D Brown says, Assalamu alaikum. It looks like things are going to be interesting now at the welterweight division. Unfortunately, a barrier for Ilya to Poirier versus Islam. Yeah. But ultimately, you know what? This is the reason why I made that video about how the UFC is nobody is bigger than the program, right? I believe what video was that I made. It was the Alex Pereira video that I had made where I talk about how he lied about being hacked, but in reality he was just in this frustrating negotiating situation with the UFC. So yeah, Jose Aldo retires after third loss in the last four fights. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you got to know when to retire, right? You know, that's really all there is to it. You got to know when to hang it up, right? If you don't know when to hang it up, then I don't know, man. You know, it's all bad if you don't know how to hang it up. But yeah, 91% takedown defense by Jose Aldo. All right. So I'm gonna call it quits on my live reaction stream, and I'm going to continue on with this one right here. Aldo's brain is messed up. Dingleberry says, "Yeah, it is. It's absolutely messed up right now, right? Just CTE to the max and all of that." But yeah, guys, I did all the review for all the fights. Also, stay tuned for my vertical live stream that I am doing right now. Also, great night of fights, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Everybody on this chat right now, stay on. Thank you for your reaction, brother. Yeah, stay on. I'm still going to be here. And everybody that's on the live reaction for the fights, hop on over to this chat right here with the vertical stream that you see me in right here. So I'm going to sign off on this one. You're going to hear the music on the other stream, and I'm going to continue this vertical stream right here. So here we go. All right, guys. All right. So Dingleberry says, "Who do you think wins between Ilya and Oliveira?" I think Ilya Tapora is going to win that one. What other screen? I have two live streams that are going on right now. It's going off right now. It's going on its last 2 minutes. I'm playing the outro to my live stream that I did for the fight. So I'm basically doing two live streams at once in the same channel. How is that possible? I think that's possible based on the fact that you have two different devices that you are doing your live stream in. So you can absolutely do that. But yeah, that live stream is ending in its final 1 minute right now in the outro, while I am going to continue this live stream for another 20 odd minutes or so. So, hold on just a second. Off. Oh, okay. Sorry. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. How about now? Sorry. Yeah, the volume was off. No, what I was saying was, which background were you talking about? Were you talking about this background, or are you talking about the regular background? That's what I was asking when you said great background. Was sort of wondering which one you were referring to. But yeah, thank you for letting me know that. I never would have imagined. Yeah, Bilal boring everyone. Yeah, Bilal is bored. Bilal was boring up until tonight. How's that, right? And what I was saying during the live broadcast was that Bilal needed somebody to he needed somebody to put it on him. That's how you prevent somebody like Bilal from being boring. You find somebody that is willing to step up and basically give him the business. JDM did that, and that's why it wasn't a boring fight. Now, Leon Edwards would not have been able to do that because he would not have been able to stop his takedowns. Okay, no matter what fight Leon Edwards is in, everybody takes him down and does it multiple times. That also includes Sean Brady, that includes Usman, that also includes Bilal Muhammad, all these top American grapplers. Okay, they can do whatever they want to Leon Edwards. So that is why it was a boring fight because Leon Edwards could not stuff takedowns. Now, why was JDM not a boring fight? Because he knew how to stuff the takedowns and he knew how to keep it on the feet. And that is the reason why he won tonight. Plain and simple. Usman versus Bilal right now. Yeah, that is the fight to make because they do have a little bit of some beef going on right now. So I don't know what's going on with that, but there is something going on with that beef to where uh, they want to settle something out of that. So yeah, wow, man, yeah, I'm really shocked of JDM winning. But you know what? Look, Usman is a crybaby. Dingleberry says, uh, you know what? That is kind of strange, right? I think that Usman, I don't know, man. He sort of got at Bilal saying, "Well, you're no longer champion, or this and that. I'm the current champion." And yeah, man, it's kind of weird and strange. But look, this is a reality of the fight game, right? It's not about what the company wants. It's not about what the better storyline is. It's just really about who deserves to be the winner and who deserves to be on top, even if you have a great story involved, right? Like, I know that it's tragic what's going on in certain parts of the world, in particular parts of the world where Bilal is from and his family are from, but that's not the reality of combat sports. You're not always going to win, and you're not always going to be the hero or the main character of the whole entire story. And that's sort of the problem that a lot of people have when they get outcomes in combat sports or in sports in general that they don't like, right? It is predicated on the fact that many of you have main character syndrome. So the fact that a lot of you have main character syndrome, it is the reason why you hate when these things happen. Now, look, as a Bilal Muhammad supporter, do I hate all of this? Yes, but also I am a Muslim who understands that it is upon Allah's will to decide what is the reality of our life. And if they want us to win and if they want us to lose, that is all up to Allah. And there is a grand scheme of plan of things that may either prevent you from future calamities or help you in your blessings that you are deserved of. But yeah, on any regard, what is this? So they're talking about putting Rainier Radir and Robert Whitaker together for an upcoming fight. July 26th. Wow. Okay. At an ABC card. So that's not too far away. This card right here. Straight away, they want to put D. Ritter in that card straight away. They were probably going to put Bo Nickel on that one if he was going to win decisively. Dingleberry says Bilal was saying a few weeks ago that he's close to being better than GSP. Yeah, man, you're going to hear that a lot. You're going to hear a lot of people throw this in Bilal's face. for one reason or another. You're going to hear a lot of people say, I told you you're not that good. You should have not talked smack. That's how people are, man. You know, the minute that you lose or the minute that you try and big yourself up to a certain degree, they're going to look at you and say, who does this guy think he is, man? We're going to put him in his place. Yeah, we're going to put him in his place. That's how people look at you when you try to talk too big and all that. So, yeah, man. But that's going to be an exciting ABC, ESPN fight night. Robert Whitaker and D. Ritter. D. Ritter's now ranked number 13, and Robert Whitaker is ranked number 5. Okay, so coming up, you got Burns and Morales next week. After that, May 31st, you got Blanchfield versus Barber. Okay, that's a pretty decent fight for a two-girl fight. Okay, Pena versus Harrison. That's a good one. That's June 17th. That's June 7th, actually. UFC 316 and Marab versus O'Malley. Okay, that's going to be in New Jersey. Okay, so I'm still waiting for International Fight Week to be announced. That's what I'm saying, right? I think Bilal is out of that equation now. Maybe you could add Usman and Bilal into that mix. But for sure, yeah, JDM and Islam are probably what's up there next. And you know what? They're probably going to incentivize JDM to get in there. Think about this, right? JDM is a new champion, right? He doesn't make championship money yet. They can incentivize him and say, "Hey, dude, listen, you made what? I'm just throwing an estimated number here, right? So he's a champion, so maybe like close to a half a million now. Okay, how about this? We give you 3 million for this fight. That's the biggest money that Jack Della Maddalena has ever seen, and he's going to take it, especially against Islam. Uh, there's a difference between confidence and knowing. Yeah, I would agree with that, Mr. Burberry. Dingleberry asks, do you think Jones versus Aspinall will happen? And if so, who wins? I think John Jones is unsure of himself going into this fight with Tom Aspinall, and there's a reason why there's a big delay going on. I think the big delay is predicated on the fact that he's not really sure whether he can beat this guy or not. And the reason why he's not sure that he can beat this guy is because he knows deep down inside that if he goes in there and even attempts or tries to fight Tom Aspinall, it could be very detrimental to long-term uh, his long-term legacy. John Jones knows this, so he's very reluctant in going in there. Do I think that he can win? I think that he can win. Uh, on the wrestling exchanges. But now there is a point where a lot of these wrestlers are sort of declining in their mixed martial arts wrestling skills. Look, there's a difference between wrestling, mixed martial arts, and then regular wrestling. Two completely different sports. I need you guys to understand there are two different sports here when it comes to that, right? JDM showed an example of that tonight, that MMA grappling matters a lot more than regular grappling. D. Ritter showed that against Bo Nickel last week. And I think we're going to continue to see this trend over and over again. It is only the guys that evolve, like George St. that are going to be able to rise above this. So let me change headsets right here. Okay, so just making sure can you guys hear me? Just making sure I have my headphones on right here. Yeah, so do I think that it will happen? I don't think that it will happen. I think that John Jones has a capability of beating him, but it's one thing to have the capability, but it's one thing to have the confidence to actually pull through with it. Can hear you. Dingleberry, did you say you can hear me or can't hear me? Just wanted to make sure that Yeah, you confirmed that one. But yeah, yeah, I think John Jones is done, bro. I think John Jones understands Ken. Okay, good. I think John Jones understands his mortality, right? I think he already understands his mortality. And look, I think we think of John Jones as this super arrogant human being. And as a result of that, we want to see him get toppled. This is just the insane aspect of human nature, right? We want to build somebody up so that we can break them back down. It's a very strange and weird dynamic that people have, but yeah, it's a reality and it's true. It's just how folks operate. Uh, you add on to the fact that John Jones has put himself through a lot of scandalous situations, right? That in and of itself sort of gives people more initiatives to wanting to see him fail, right? Because look, George St. Pierre tonight was sort of the quintessential uh, focal point of the 170 division, the godfather of the 170 division, and the lineage of this title that we were fighting for tonight, right? In regards to Muhammad and Della Maddalena. Okay, so with that in mind, George St. Pierre was so well rounded back then, man. He was so well rounded. He really was. In a way where a lot of these kids aren't. But oh, sorry, got off a little on the tangent there. What I was saying is, do you think GSP is the GOAT? So, okay, here's the thing, right? I absolutely think that he is. Him and John Jones and Khabib. Yeah, so it's Khabib, John Jones, and GSP. Why is GSP up there? Because he beat every guy that he's faced, even the guys that he's lost to. He came back and beat them. Okay. Not only that, he never had the scandals that John Jones did. So because of that, people want to see him win. Notice how they never asked GSP to go fight Robert Whitaker when it was Robert Whitaker's time. But right now, Tom Aspinall is the Robert Whitaker for John Jones. And they want him to fight him so bad. Nobody asked for GSP to do that because they didn't want to tarnish his legacy. They only want to tarnish the legacy of John Jones because, let's be honest, they look at John Jones as a scumbag. So when you look at somebody as a scumbag, you want to see them fail. You want to see them do bad. You want to see them get toppled. You want to see them get hurt. That's a weird thing to say, but it's really a true thing to say when you really understand the nature of most human beings, right? They like to see people fail and they like to see people lose. And John Jones gives them a lot of reason to wanting to feel that way. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you about that. John Jones sort of invokes that type of emotion out of people. GSP, not so much because he's a kind, humble person. Look, even Bilal Muhammad, right? Tonight, I guarantee you, there's not going to be a lot of people that are going to give flack to Bilal Muhammad. At least I don't think. If they do, I mean, that would be weird. That would be strange, but I highly doubt they would do that. I hope they don't do that. I mean, it's so weird if they did. Here's Valentina Shevchenko right now in the booth. Aspinall should fight Volk or Gane if Jones takes a long break. I agree. I agree, right? At some point, John Jones has to make a commitment into what he wants to do, right? And those are the only names that are left out there as a possibility of that. So, all right. So, hold on. Be right back. All right, so mic check 1 2 1 2. All right, so I believe we are just awaiting the arrival of Jack Della Maddalena. I believe that's probably going to take a while, so I don't know if I'm gonna, necessarily stay for Jack Della Maddalena's uh, press conference. Although it would be fun. It would be fun. It would be fun to kind of hear what he has to say, or maybe just make a reaction video out of it. It's like, but on any regard, uh, great night of fights. Valentina Shevchenko just did her press conference. Again, look, shocking results, right? Let me just end it with this, okay? Combat sports is the theater of the unknown. That is the reality that you get in combat sports. You never know what is going to happen, and tonight was just a clear example of it. So that is all that I have, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and we'll see you in the next one, in the next live stream, in the next reaction, in the next video, in the next shorts, in whatever collaboration that I do with other content creators. I will see you in the next one. You guys have a good one. What did you think of the card? Check it out from the very beginning. Rewind back from the very beginning if you want to watch this. I will see you guys. The longer that I actually do go on with this, the less people would want to watch in the future. So yeah, just figured I'd cut it down to an hour and 7 minutes on this one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Shout out to Juice Man 562, Dingleberry, Mr. Burberry, and everybody that's tapped in the chat. You guys have a beautiful night, great night of fights, and Jack Della Maddalena is about to do his press conference tonight, or I don't know if he is or if he's just going to the hospital, but yeah, yeah, I think they're just waiting for Jack Della Maddalena right now. But all right, yeah, that's really all that I have for you guys right now. I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow morning. I'll do a live stream tomorrow morning or maybe in the afternoon as sort of a little breakdown of what happened tonight, and we'll go from there. Okay, inshallah. See you guys in the next one. I'm out.